I really wanted to go and go to the United States just to explore. So the study for me was secondary. I just wanted to spend some years there and see what the US was really like. I did have an interest in Silicon Valley, so I figured maybe I would explore that as well. So I finished my study and found a way to move to Silicon Valley by joining a Dutch company, Baan at that time, who had a headquarters, the US headquarters in Silicon Valley. So from there I moved. And then I just liked it and joined one company, another company, and I'm still here. So OfferUp is a mobile marketplace, similar in a way maybe like in Holland Marktplaats, in a way that consumers sell to consumers, what they like to call here C2C. But we started this as a mobile first company. So this a couple of years ago now, it was 2010, 2011. Smartphone adoption was not as big as it is today, but we figured that if we started with a smartphone solution, we could get more people to buy and sell locally.
Selling something of your own? Posting is as easy as taking a picture. It only takes 30 seconds. Then offers will start rolling in. Join millions of people on the largest mobile marketplace for local buyers and sellers. Download OfferUp for free today.
We want everything to go to it. The marketplace we were building was everything within that system. So it's not just discovering items, it was transacting and communication. So the goal was no phone numbers, no email, no cash. Everything was going to our system. And that's what we ended up building. So like $221 million is a lot. Even in the US, it's a decent amount of money. But it's based on the opportunity that the investors see. And for us, we're looking at, now we have a national coverage, we can go international, but in a national coverage today, we have a very high valuation based on the potential that's just in the US, right? So if you look at it from that point of view, the investment versus the potential, that ratio is not bad. And I think that if you were in Holland and you were expecting that amount of money, you're already way beyond the borders, right? You have to go and think Europe to reach a size and the potential for investors to see that, okay, it's worth putting that much money in. We as a company we have focused a lot on growth, which is great. Our investors were all supportive of that, but we also as a business want to be a business. So revenue is a key player. So far we have, give you an example, this year I think we're about to process $25 billion worth of goods to the marketplace. Now, it's time as a business to also take a small percentage of that and call it revenue, right? So we have several projects going on and to get more focus on the revenue side of things, which was initially not the big pressure because growth for what we do was the number one priority. So you will see more growth, you will see more focus on the revenue side, but we've hired so many people. We talk about 220, but a lot of them were hired in the last 12 months. So what we see now is we have a lot more output when it comes to building new features, not just supporting our growth, but actually building, improving the product. And I'm very excited about that because there are a lot of things we can still do to just make it the best marketplace. You don't keep it the same because the one thing, I think one aspect of a culture is that it evolves all the time. That's a hard one, but I've seen a couple of failures at other startups I was part of where didn't get the attention I think it needed. So at OfferUp, Nick and I would say almost obsessed about it. But we said like, okay, we have a small team. We need to kind of define what it looks like today, what we like about it, and then we need to grow it. So we focused on the base. Let's get it right now. So early on, we really said, okay, this is what we want. Then when we start adding people to the team, during the interview process, can we figure out if these people will add to our culture, not subtract, right? So that meant a very difficult decision sometimes because early on, we were not known. We had not a popular brand or anything in Seattle. We're still small, we didn't have all the funding, but we needed to convince all these engineers to join. So I remember talking to some extremely talented engineers and not hiring them at the end because I was worried about the culture part. Maybe faster growth, easier access to money is still something that Silicon Valley plays. Lots of talent here, also thousands of companies here, right? So I've seen companies that moved years ago from Seattle to over here. They're in Twilio is an example of that. They're pretty good. But if I had to go back now and look at this, I have easy access to talent here and money. Money is still important. Talent, because it's so crazy here right now, you need to worry about loyalty in that case. Because they can join your company today, within a year they can go somewhere else, right? So there's so much going on. Seattle in that case is a little bit more relaxed, but it's pretty much the fastest growing city in the United States right now. So Seattle is going that same direction. But I do think from my perspective, it's an easier place to start a business. It's not as crazy. You'll have to make sure you have a pretty good entry points in this network before you get here, right? So network is very important here. And again, I've seen the Silicon Valley and Seattle side of things. It's very doable, but you could also start with that, building that up before you actually move here. I think you could just fly here. What Startup Delta has been doing is interesting, getting people connected. So build up a good network before you think that you need to be here. But it comes back to networking for money. When you're in the early stages, like the seed fund round or maybe an A round, you will find out that the VCs, and they kind of joke around that here, but VCs would only invest in companies they can drive to. It's so if you're a little further than that, that's a different story. But some of the US VCs that have an interest in Europe, they will either open office there or they'll work with European VCs. So that's another way of getting access to that. Maybe that would be a step. Go network locally, find a VC connected to Silicon Valley, and then work your way that way.